Good evening, all, morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm Adam Duval, aka the Mental Health Warrior, and there's normally meant to be four of us, but one's vanished. Don't know where. Who knows? But the show must go on. Hope he's okay. Now, we have got Jason Cotton, the Bipolar Warrior. Welcome.
Yep, hello.
How are you?
Doing great. Looking forward to today's conversation.
Fantastic. And for the very first time, because she missed the one-on-one last time.
Oh, yes, I did.
Welcome to Warrior TV, Brenda Grund.
Hiya. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good, just very busy and tired and stressed and you.
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar.
Good to be here.
Exactly. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, so we will try not to be negative, but we'll keep this positive. That's why it's called Mental Health Happy Hour. So, I know last week it only went for 54 minutes. That's not really an hour, but hey, who knows what will happen tonight.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone in the comments, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are, if you're here, and I don't know if you've got any jokes, throw them our way. Let's do this. So, I'm going to start, Brenda, since this is your first time.
This is my first time.
First time, yes. So
tell the viewers,
tell the viewers in a little bit about who you are and your little bit of a background.
My name is Brenda Grund, and I am from The Hague, the Netherlands. And I'm on the show because actually J.R. Reid, who is not here at the moment, and I hope he's doing okay, introduced me to you, Adam, to join you on your TV show. So I'm here now, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm a therapist from The Hague. Been working in the field for 10 plus years with different with people with different kinds of issues. At the moment, I'm mainly working with autistic women with eating disorders. Quite a narrow field, you would say, but I really love my job. And apart from that, my job, I live here with my daughter and my cat. And I don't know. What do you want to know?
Well, we won't give too much away because obviously you are due on in a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, whenever it is, for a one-on-one. So we won't give too much away. Come on, we don't want to spoil it, do we?
True.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hello, Kerry, live from upstairs. She's on YouTube. There's a moth next to me. I hate moths. They give me a creeps.
I read this newspaper article today that, like, in the UK, they found a moth. It was like this big. Well, they're really big. It could fit on your hand. Scarily big, actually. Don't know if you read about it. Don't.
Come on. I've got a phobia of those little things.
Okay, I'll send you the link to the article.
No,
then.
Please don't. Please don't. No. Anyway, so Jason, what should we talk about tonight?
Say again, what was that?
You look like a robot there, may I ask? Because you're like that.
Yeah. I think it's my Wi-Fi freezing up a little bit.
No, where are you calling from, Jason?
I'm calling from Branson, United States.
All right.
Missouri, United States is where I'm at. Was a combat medic, United States Army. Now I do self-advocacy work for mental illness and have another radio show on top of this.
Wow.
I'm going to stop you guys right there because I'm just going to do a little bit of a magic trick. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
He's here.
I had a little car problem, so I apologize.
Oh, good to see you.
You too, Brenda.
Right. Hang on a minute. Hang on.
Thanks.
I'm going to stop right there. Come on. JR, a little car problem. I've been trying to get in touch with you all bloody day.
I left my phone at home too.
Yeah, you're late, JR.
I know I am. And flog me, please. Anyway.
So you're here.
So I'm here, and I got to tell you, I've interviewed Brenda several times, and she is an amazing, amazing person who does an amazing amount of work and type of work.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
Yeah, how did you get into such a narrow field? I mean, it's I can see you getting into autism, so you can get into eating disorders, but that crossover, that's very interesting that you got such a narrow field.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I was working with women with eating disorders before, and as a group counselor and individual counselor, and I noticed that at some point, certain women did not respond well to the regular treatment that we were giving. And at the same time, I was recognizing certain symptoms, which I recognize because, I have the same symptoms myself because I'm on the spectrum myself. I was like, okay, this could just be me projecting my stuff onto other people. So therefore, I talked to colleagues about it, like, okay, this is what I am seeing. This is what I'm, noticing. Can you tell me, like, how you perceive this? And then started from there, and I ended up doing research for appropriate treatment methods for women with eating disorders that are also on the spectrum to see how we could actually help them better. And that's kind of how that whole thing got started. And then I noticed that there wasn't really appropriate help available for these women in the Netherlands. And I was like, okay, well, I might as well do it then.
Yeah.
And so that's how I started Centrum Spectra. Just started with me. I've got this very great colleague, Natalie is her name. And we do trainings for mental health care professionals, and we do individual treatment for women on the spectrum.
Brenda, don't give too much away. Don't give too much away. I'm due to interview you.
Yeah, well, blame it on your colleague.
JR, yeah.
I'm just sitting here, dude.
Well, we've got a comment from Kerry, live from upstairs on YouTube. She put, that's a straight strike, JR.
Yes, it is.
You're on your first strike.
Actually, I'm on my second one because I had a strike from somebody else who's tried to call me all day, too.
Let me guess.
Oh, no.
No,
Not Jason?
wasn't me. No,
yeah, come on, let's talk about that. How was your date?
My date was...
I read about that.
My date was amazing. It got cut short a little early because she had a friend who was in kind of a mental crisis. And so I had to take her home to drop her off for that. But it was amazing.
Keep going.
Okay.
That's all you're getting.
Gossip. Come on.
That's all you're getting, baby.
Oh, come on.
We're here to talk about Brenda.
No, we're not.
No, wait a minute. The topic of today is mental health happy hour, and it's not like...
Yes, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Come on, no. There's no individual topics here. We're talking about mental health.
You
came up with this topic. You came up with this show, JR. So this is on you, buddy.
My mental health is very good right now, and I'm sure hers is too.
I can imagine, JR. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
It's really good news.
I'm happy for you too. For me too.
Daniel Pace, hello. How are you? Where are you tuning in from? And if you've got any jokes, throw them our way. Same with you, Kerry. Come on. And anyone else that's tuning in, throw some jokes at us. Come on.
So I've got one question for Brenda. So you started off in the Netherlands, where you're from,
Yeah.
How did you get to expand it globally to where you started picking up clients from other countries around the world?
Oh, that's a very good question indeed. Thanks. Well, I started like more than 10 years ago working as a hypnotherapist because that's the first study I actually did. And I've lived in London for a year, so my English is quite acceptable. So I figured it would be a good idea to also offer my services in English. Because there's also a huge international community here in The Hague with all the like big companies and well, what have you not. And I was actually the first hypnotherapist to offer my services in English. And I also worked for an expat service at some point in time. And I was like, okay, why not do it in English as well? I mean, there's so many more women out there outside of the Netherlands that are experiencing the same issues. So, you know, the world is my playground. I mean, I might as well. And I have met some amazing people because of that, you know, like the really, really wonderful women that I've worked with that I otherwise would have never met.
I have got 2 questions. One for you, Brenda, and the other for you, JR. I'm gonna, because I'm a gentleman, I'm going to start with ladies first. Brenda, how many languages can you actually speak?
3.
Go on.
Dutch, English, and German.
Oh. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's just what we get taught in school, actually. You know, like we also get French and Latin and Greek. But those are the 3 main languages that I can read and speak.
Okay, JR.
Yes, sir.
The question's not from me, really. It's from Kerry.
I know.
She bought, I want to hear more about JR's date. Did he give her flowers or chocolates?
No, he did not, because chocolates was quite warm. Although she is a huge Deadpool fan, so I did give her a little Deadpool figure.
Oh!
Flamingo, Deadpool in flamingo pants and doing a little flamingo dance.
You did the flamingo dance.
No, Deadpool did.
Can you do it?
No.
Why? I want to see it.
Because I'm a male from California. I don't know.
Can you do it, Jason?
Say what?
Can you do the flamingo dance?
I don't even know what the flamingo dance is. That's all on JR.
Maybe Adam needs to show us what he actually means, and then we can see if we can do it as well.
Yeah.
I don't even know what flamingo dance is. Can someone research it?
It's like Cuban type dancing and very colorful and a lot of flair. And I got the colorful part down, just not the flair.
Right, guys. Do you not think this is fair? Because myself, Jason, and Brenda has not got a clue what this flamingo dance is, but JR does. Maybe he should show us. Do you not think? Do you not think that?
There we go. That's all the dancing you're getting out of me.
Oh. Are you going to sing for us then?
God, no. I want people to watch the show, not leave in droves.
Right, Daniel Page, German. I studied it a bit, not as good as speaking and reading it as I was. Okay, fair enough. See, I don't know.
Still impressive.
It is.
It is.
My anxiety is a little bit on the high because I've got a moth next to me and I've got a phobia of them.
And also knowing now that there's moths in the UK that are like the size of your hand that you can
Shut
pet.
up!
We read today in the newspaper. Isn't it really helping?
Shut up. I'll hibernate till winter.
God. Hey, so Brenda, how did you really get those first clients in English?
Ooh, good question. How did I get my first clients in English? Well, the very first clients that here in the Netherlands, they just came through my website, actually. I have no clue how these people found me, but they found me through my website. I mean,
Wow.
I just put it out there. I created this website, and people just started sending messages.
Very cool.
Yeah, really cool.
So-
really cool.
What do people feel like of my breaking announcement yesterday? Mental Health Warriors is a year old.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
Congratulations.
We are a year old. I missed it though, but I was actually live that Sunday as well with somebody that's got schizophrenia.
Wow.
So cool.
So yeah,
Happy birthday.
thank
Yeah.
you. Right, if I hibernate, the moth might join me. Do not terminate the conversations about moths. I hate them.
Yeah.
They give me the crepes.
So Jason,
Brenda,
can you give us some description of like what the weather is like where you're at? Because it's really hot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's in the low 90s Fahrenheit. I can't remember what that's in Celsius, but it's damn hot.
Must be the heat.
Well, and Jason, you forgot to mention the 80 to 90% humidity too.
I was just about to mention the humidity, which is just,
Yeah.
It's just like taking a shower.
Yeah, because I drove by Jason's house about half hour ago.
So that's how close you live, yeah?
Yeah, Jason is actually the first friend I met once I moved here 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's great. Hey, by the way, how are your dogs doing, JR? Because you have how many dogs?
Just the one service dog, Ty, and he's as big and pain in the butt as ever. The really cool thing, though, is with the rescue that I got him from that trains him to be service dogs, I got a phone call about a year and a half ago to go look at a dog at a shelter right near my house that they were going to put this dog to sleep in 48 hours because it was a pit, just simply because it was a pit bull. And I went out and I checked, I did commands. The dog followed everything I did. She about licked me to death. And so I picked her up and I took her to the place that trained Harper to be a service dog. And now Harper is Jason's service dog.
Ooh. So cool.
So, yeah. So it comes full circle. I remember that night, too, because we were playing Dungeons and Dragons. And JR was late. And he was late because he had to go to the pound. So I remember that night that he had to be when he went to check out Harper at the pound. So
yep. And then a year later, Jason got him, and now next week I get Harper for a week while Jason goes on vacation.
That's so cool. She must be so grateful.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she is.
Yeah.
If people's thinking, what the hell am I doing? I'm reading the comments from Kerry and I'm not best pleased. I know I said they're no negative, but what she's coming out with, and no, I'm not happy with these jokes. I'm not. She's put.
No, but but you got to remember, these are service dogs, which have to do with mental health.
I'm not talking about dogs now.
Okay.
She's talking about jokes.
She's got two jokes which she's found online. She put, why did the moth nibble a hole in the carpet? He wanted to see the floor show.
Okay.
Another one, like she's found a full page of them. A full page, which I don't know what to do with her. I'm probably going to have to put her in the shed or something. I don't know. She's put, what's pretty delicate and carries a submachine gun, a killer butterfly.
It's possible.
Okay.
I'm sure they could genetically modify a butterfly.
Well, they do have CBs.
Yeah.
But,
are we joined by someone else on there, Brenda?
Hey.
Yeah. It's a periscope. No, it's my cat. She just wants some attention and love.
Oh, God, not again.
Hey, come on, Adam! You've got your moth on the show, and I've got my cat on the show. So
right, right. I'll let you talk in a minute, Jess. Now, I really will. But next Sunday is International Cat Day.
Ooh.
and Kerry wants to do a podcast on there. She wants to do it. It's obviously on the Sunday.
On the mental health of cats?
Yes.
Okay.
She just wants to come on Warrior TV. She's already got a couple of people lined up. And I think she wants as many people as she can. Just come online and talk about cats.
Well, I think my cat was really important to my mental health, because I was always like on the run and being busy and being too busy. I always kept going until I had a burnout. But having a cat that's sleeping for 16 hours a day on a very luxurious bed made me realize at some point when I looked at her like, oh, wait a minute, I might just lay down next to her and do the same thing. And that's how I started relaxing. So I think, cats can be very beneficial for your health. Because they give the good example to people that are just like overly active.
Yeah. Go ahead, Adam.
No, I'm actually going to say, go on, Jason.
Oh, well,
he actually answered the question I was just about to ask, which was, what has your pets? How has your pet helped you with your mental health? And so you've actually just answered that question before I even had a chance to ask it.
But speaking
That's
of
how
cats,
good of a guest. Yeah, she's so good that she actually answers the questions before they get asked.
Oh, there you go. Brenda's on fire tonight. She really is. Kerry's come up with another joke. Speaking of cats, what do cats like to eat on a hot day? Any guesses?
Ice cream.
I'm afraid to ask. I'm afraid to say something.
Right. A mice cream cone.
Ooh, mice cream.
A mice cream.
Cool.
Wow.
The cone with little arms and legs sticking out in the tail.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, don't forget to tip your waiters. Try the veal.
Absolutely.
Because apparently there's a stand-up show over here in the upper left-hand corner.
Yes. Hey, that logo in our corner, that's the Mental Health Warrior logo.
I know.
That proves we're representing them.
Yes, we are.
That's on every show.
No pressure.
Yeah, I know.
Have you only just noticed, JR, that it's there?
No, I noticed it the moment I got there.
Yeah. What about you, Jason?
Well, yeah, of course I noticed it because, it's like half of my taking part of my head space right here. So I noticed.
I can see the whole of you.
I'm not saying I'm being.
Oh, do that. Do that. Enlarge it.
I'm afraid I'm going to knock my head into it.
Yeah. Why do cats always get their way?
And I showed up.
They are very persuasive.
Okay. So Kerry, Brenda, sorry. I'm thinking of the person with the bad jokes. So, how many women or girls do you tend to work with at a time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I think about I have like 5 appointments a week of like
Okay.
1.5 hour. And it varies. Sometimes I have less, sometimes I have more, but I try to balance it out because I noticed that, in order for me to give my full attention, I can only handle so many appointments a week. But luckily, I've got my wonderful colleague Natalie as well. And it's quite manageable. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was thinking is that if you get too many, then you get it real watered down and they can't really get the help they need. No,
exactly. And that's exactly what I don't want to do because that already happens enough in like regular healthcare. So let's not repeat that, Yeah.
Well,
so I'm wondering also, how you guys because you're really busy as well, right, Adam? Like you seem really
very busy. This is the 8th straight day we've been active on podcasts. 8 straight day.
Wow. So like all of us, like how many hours a week do we actually spend on helping other people? I'm really curious.
50.
Whenever they come.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think you're getting Kerry's bad books, JR, because she just put bad jokes with 3 big question marks.
Okay. Interesting jokes.
Okay, is that better, Kerry? The interesting. Oh, she takes forever to respond.
That's
The thing
okay.
is, with Kerry, I love her. She really is amazing. But when I want her, she's never there. But when I need her, no, what I was it? When I want her, she picks up. But when I actually need her, she never answers.
No, I'm sorry. Well, why don't we ask more questions of Brenda and let her talk? Because,
Yeah. So my
She's our
question to
guest.
you, Brenda. My question to you, Brenda, is: what do you think of the Mental Health Warriors? Like your first insight into the Warrior TV.
I love it. I really love it. I love the enthusiasm and I love the drive. I think it's great to also be on the show. And I think that, you and Carrie, I've met you and you're wonderful people. So I cannot wait to see what else you're up to. And I also cannot wait until you drop that green screen behind you and do that magic trick that everybody gets to see the surprise that's behind it.
yeah.
There's a window behind that. Well, there's a window behind that side, but that side there's a guinea pig cage. How about that? There's
Let's save the guinea pigs for another week.
Yeah.
We've already talked about cats this week. Guinea pigs is another show.
Cool.
She's probably I'm actually glad she's quiet because she's normally loud. Yeah, we've had her for quite a few years now. I know they don't last long, but let's skip the negative.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy you told me because I've been wondering what's behind that screen forever, and it's, it causes me a sleepless night. So maybe
Well,
this night get some rest.
Thank you, Brenda, because I've wondered that for quite a while as well.
You're welcome.
So, statistics.
Oh,
there you go. How about that?
There's another screen behind the screen.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's my curtain. That's my
Yeah.
curtain.
But it could be a blue screen.
No, it's not. See?
Okay,
Ta-da.
yeah. So, Brenda,
Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Thank you.
So, Brenda, worldwide, how many people approximately suffer from eating disorders every year?
Oh, that's a good question. I cannot give you a direct answer to that.
Okay.
Because I would have to make some calculations, and if I would name a number now, I'd be lying. So
It's just a lot.
it's a lot. It's a lot. And there's a lot more autistic women than most than most mental health workers think, because it just
They
the
mask
symptoms
it.
are different in women than in girls. So sometimes they go undiagnosed and then they get like labels that are not really what they need. So it could be like bipolar or depression or borderline or
Yeah, according to the stats, we know 1 in 5 autistic people is a woman, but they mask it so well that a lot of times they go undiagnosed. So there is a lot more than just 20% of the autistic population that is women.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse, I guess. Because if you want to function in normal society, then it can be helpful to mask sometimes, but at the same time, it comes at a cost. So, yeah.
Right. I've got a question now. Obviously, I'll get to your comment in a minute, Kerry, about the percentage. But this question, I'm not singling you out, Brenda, because you're doing absolutely awesome. This is for every single man out there that is married.
Okay.
Right, the saying, Kerry's put, grooms, once you get married, remember that when you have a discussion with your future wife, always get the last two words in, yes, dear. Do you agree?
Oh, do I agree?
Do anyone agree that the man has to say, yes, dear, to the wife?
I know it makes life easier.
I agree.
Yeah?
Or some form of yes, dear, like, okay, baby, you got it, girl. Something like that, you know.
So would you agree with the saying is happy wife, happy life? Yeah? Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. Yeah, for sure. Of course.
What about everyone else? Please comment. Please comment what you think.
Yeah, you know, we used to have a saying when I lived in California, if mama ain't happy, ain't no one happy.
True.
Right.
Definitely true.
Backtracking to eating disorders. Kerry's actually done a little bit of research and she's found that eating disorders affect at least 9% of the population worldwide.
Okay.
I believe that.
9%.
I believe that. Yeah. Yeah, minimum, I think. There's so many people with eating disorders.
Yeah, it could be
Different
anorexia,
scores,
it could be bulimia.
What's the most common disorder that you have been encountering in as far as spectrum wide? You know, whether it's anorexia, bulimia, which one is kind of the one that you seem to be hitting on the most?
For me, it's the restrictive eating. So anorexia, or just not being able to eat when someone is really stressed. I know there's also like a lot of people on the spectrum that overeat a lot, but I happen to be in the corner of people that when they're stressed, they're not able to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's just because I'm in that field, and I think that autistic people are just like everybody else. We can have restrictive eating disorders. We can overeat. Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the signs and symptoms that somebody should look for in a loved one or somebody like that they care about that might have an eating disorder?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's also really dependent on the type of eating disorder they have. I think it's like when somebody is actually trying to cover up the fact that they want to lose weight and they don't want to admit it, and they're hiding food and being secretive about it. They're a bit like the symptoms of any addiction, really. So secretive behavior, maybe going to the toilet right after dinner, pretending they eat their food but hiding it somewhere, or using laxatives, finding laxatives could be an indicator. Being very rigid about how food is being cooked, what's in the food, or weighing food could be all can be symptoms of being too controlling about food, and maybe having issues with it, or having a problem with it. Yeah. But then again, there's not really one thing that you can say, okay, if somebody's displaying this behavior, then this is going on, because you could also be very wrong, and you can destroy your trust when you accuse somebody of something that maybe you're wrong about. So be careful with that. When you see certain things, ask with open questions. Hey, I'm curious. I saw this and that. Can you tell me what you were doing there, or what that means, or what? Instead of being like, okay, I saw this, so I think you have, because you want to keep that bond, you want to keep the trust. I mean, it's easy to interpret things the wrong way.
And I think that has to do with pretty much anything mental health wise.
Yeah.
You want to talk to them and ask questions rather than just start accusing.
Yeah, that leads me on to a question when it comes to anxiety. Now, obviously, I know that autistic people, they've got a different mindset to someone that doesn't have autism. because the autistic person sees it from a bigger picture. You agree with that, JR, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So when it comes to eating disorders, what's the difference when it comes to anxiety to someone that's got an eating disorder to someone that's got autism and an eating disorder?
Good question. Let me think about that for a minute.
Adam, you have some music to play while she thinks about it.
Yeah.
Any recommendations, guys? Hello, Guy Brulando, all the way from, I think it's Colorado.
How about the Jeopardy song? While we're waiting for her answer.
Oh,
Yeah, well, the thing is, I can only do one thing at a time, sort of. So, when you guys are talking, I cannot think. But anyway, it's also it's very individual. I mean, some people are very afraid to gain weight, and they don't have it clear, like how many calories is in what, and then they can get very fearful of like gaining weight to the extent where they grow very massive, while it's maybe not realistic.
Yeah, because why I said that, because obviously our son, he's 9 years old, and he's got autism as well, but he's also just recently been diagnosed with ADHD as well. And he can eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, but he never gains weight. Never. But
I hate him.
he can eat his meal that fast. It really is. It's that fast. About half an hour later, he asks us, "What's for breakfast?" I'm like, "You've had your breakfast, Lucas." So he forgets that he's eaten.
Yeah. I think a lot of people on the spectrum, they're in their head so much that sometimes they forget their bodily sensations, so they cannot really feel when they're full. Some people they feel full very easily because they get overwhelmed easily, but some people don't have any connection with their body, and it just makes them feel
Absolutely.
makes that they cannot feel that they're actually full. Or when you eat too fast, it's like you have to wait for the food to actually go down before you know you're full. But when you eat too fast, it's like you just keep wanting more because you don't feel satisfied.
Absolutely. And guys, again, if you've got any questions for any of us, please put it in the comments on Facebook. I've got 2 devices here, one YouTube, one Facebook. So yeah, because we're live on both.
I'm actually really curious what Jason, what you do. What do you do in your field? Because I know from JR what he's doing, and I know from Adam what he's doing, and I'm really curious to hear what you do.
Well, I have an hour-long radio broadcast on WLFE-TV.com called the Bipolar DM Show, where we talk about Dungeons and Dragons, indie writing, and living with the mental illness. In particular, bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, and major depression, among other diagnoses. And so that's been mostly what I've been doing as far as advocating, is just through media and encouraging people through education. I think that's probably one of the biggest things that helps with dispelling mental illness, the myth and stigma around mental illness is education, because once you shine that light on there, it's not so mysterious and not so dark and not so terrifying.
Well, and last year you did a project with your Cub Scouts about service dogs, and even made some toys for service dogs.
Yeah, we did that with Cub Scouts.
So you're educating kids about service dogs and mental health.
Yeah, and I teach the Disability Awareness Merit Badge for the scouting.
Brilliant.
Wow, so cool.
We've got a couple of comments for you. Kerry again. 28.8 million Americans will have an eating disorder in their lifetime. You agree?
Oh, at least
28.8 million Americans will have an eating disorder in their lifetime.
Just stopping at the local gas station to get gas, I think I've seen 25% of them.
Yeah.
Another one, around 222 per 10,000 children in the United States had autism in 2020.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Little low, but close enough.
It's definitely low in here. Like I found out when it comes to the education, obviously the figures may have changed by now, but 1 in 6 children will be excluded from school that have got autism over 1 in 23 that don't have autism.
Wow.
That's very worrying, actually.
Yeah.
I think there's so many really great and bright kids out there that can do amazing things for themselves and for others, but they just don't get the chance because the system is so ruthless, And I think like years ago, maybe it was a bit easier for autistic kids to actually get somewhere and get extra help, but it's such a closed system right now that when you don't really fit in, you easily drop out before you actually finish school, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Brenda. Sorry to interrupt. Jason Cotton, are you drinking McDonald's?
No, actually, it's not McDonald's. It's a gas station.
That could look like a McDonald's one, then.
Yeah. No, McDonald's gone away from the foam. I got this new space age paper that they're using now here in the United States.
Oh, here we go. Around 700,000 people in the UK have had a diagnosis of autism.
Wow. One thing that I think is just awesome is just in the last year, having some of these celebrities come out and talk about their mental health.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds just came out last week and talked about how he's dealt with anxiety for years. Elon Musk has come out as being autistic.
Yeah, there's another one as well. Wentworth Miller.
Yes, Wentworth Miller.
Yeah, he's just come out that he's been diagnosed with autism as well.
Yeah, and I think when people like that come out and talk about their mental illnesses or their autism openly, it makes it easier for the rest of us to say.
Yeah, Wentworth Miller came out today.
Yeah.
He came out today.
Wow.
Richard Dreyfuss had come out years ago, but he speaks more about it in recent years than he has previously. But he talks a lot about his bipolar disorder.
Yeah, well, and another one who's autistic and talked about it is Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yes.
No.
Yes, he is. He is.
Well, we all knew Hannibal Lecter had something going on, right?
Well, with those drawings, and did you actually know that what he was doing with his teeth in Silence of the Lambs, that's actually him stimming?
Wow.
No.
That's him stimming.
I did not know that.
You learn something new every day, JR.
It's creepy stimming, but it's stimming.
Yeah, he came out with that because I was thinking, what is he doing? But it's stimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we're totally off the subject.
Not really, because autism is actually linked to mental health as well. So
It is.
So not really.
I just been off the subject of Brenda, but so there's a Dutch band that I really, really like called Within Temptation. Are they big in Holland?
Are they big in Holland? I think they were big in a certain scene.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
For as far as I can tell, that's in the alternative scene, like metal.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, you would hear about them quite a lot. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, is there anything else you want to say?
Ooh.
Jason, anything?
Yeah, how about this? What are some of the common treatment plans that you employ on somebody who has an eating disorder?
Common treatments. I think a lot has to do with being able to relax and to recognize the signs of stress or getting overwhelmed, and how to appropriately deal with that. Because I think when a person is able to relax and recognize the symptoms of when the battery goes full, I mean, you can prevent a lot of other things going off the rails. So it's really about getting to know yourself, and not really treatment, because there's nothing really that needs to be treated in a way of from an autism perspective. It's nothing that you cannot treat autism. You're autistic or you're not, but it's just about learning to know your manual. Like, okay, this is me. How do I work? And getting to know yourself, so you also know how you can make life easier on yourself, so that things become more manageable. And also around eating, it goes the same way. Getting to know yourself, know how you work, and see what you can do in very little steps to make life easier on yourself. And I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, there's such an underrepresentation of autism and people with mental health issues in the media, movies, TV, whatnot. And I was thinking this morning that, really there's an underrepresentation of eating disorders as well.
Yes.
I mean, do you agree that, there's not many characters that you see that deal with eating disorders, and when they do, they just kind of brush it aside and just use it as a small part of the story?
Yeah, and what I also notice is that there's a stigma around eating disorders, that it's only about women wanting to lose weight and wanting to be thin and wanting to look beautiful. Well, this is actually, it does happen. But also, there's a lot of reasons why women don't eat and lose weight. And I think that it's very easy to stick the label of, oh, you just want to be thin because you're insecure, onto a person that is actually wanting to eat, but cannot because they feel overwhelmed and are full and do not feel any hunger and cannot get anything down their throat. And I think that is underrepresented, because it's such a very stereotypical way when an eating disorder actually comes in the media, that it's very stigmatizing. Yeah.
I've just done a little bit of research, and I've just come across, because obviously I was looking at trying to find autistic celebrities that actually experience eating disorders, and the first thing that popped up, anorexia is actually linked to autism. Do you agree?
Linked. I think that when somebody is autistic and somebody that is not autistic and is starving themselves to death, then the brain starts functioning in quite a similar way. So people can display certain similar traits or certain similar behaviors or ways of thinking.
Yeah.
And they look alike. And that's also why it's very hard to differentiate whether somebody just has an eating disorder and has certain thought patterns because they're starving their brain and they don't have enough fuel for their brain, or it's actually because they're also autistic.
Absolutely.
So it's yeah.
Kerry's giving you a question, though, which she's going to take over.
About cats?
Yes.
Oh.
So, Brenda, are you interested in coming on her cat podcast, talking about how cats help mental health?
I would love to, but I'm not gonna make any. Promises, because I have to look into my schedule, so I don't have to disappoint Carrie or have to disappoint myself. So tell her, Carrie, I'm gonna get back to her about that. I know this is the answer she's looking for, but
Hey, it's still a good answer, though. It's not a no.
End of the day, it doesn't matter
Sure.
if it's a good answer or a bad answer. It's an answer.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, would you recommend, and this is to all of you, would you recommend CBD oil to given to autistic people?
Yes. I take it.
Yeah, because what I've actually done, because obviously I've got some CBD oil myself, and obviously my son's got ADHD medication as well, and he got a little bit triggered when he was taking them. So we kept him off him for a couple of days. So tonight I decided I'm going to give him some CBD oil. I'm just going to see how that works.
It works for my anxiety.
Okay.
It takes the edge off what my anxiety medicine doesn't cover.
Yeah. Well, it's both in this spray, because it's a spray that I've got. It's CBD, also CBG.
So what does that stand for?
Oh, I can't actually remember, but I've actually done a video on that with it's on my YouTube with someone called Guy Brolando. That was actually tuned in tonight. Yeah. So Guy, if you're still there, please put in the comments about what CBG actually stands for, and then please let us know. Yeah. But it's good. It's good. Definitely recommended. Yeah. So, have you got any more questions, Kerry? Or any of you guys?
CBG oil is widely used for the purpose of getting comfort, a sense of calmness, and stress relief. Essentially, users have reported great benefits from using CBG oil for sleep or treating insomnia, to stay focused and relieve inflammation. So it sounds very similar to CBD oil.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yes. Yeah, I've given him some. I've actually given both my kids them. I take it as well every night, and you know what? After I take it, within about 10 minutes, because it normally takes me about half an hour to get sleep, but after about 10 minutes of taking it, I'm knocked out.
Nice.
I'm knocked out.
Nice. Yeah. So, Brenda, where can people find you online, social media, anything like that?
Good question. People can find me on www.centrumspectra.com. I think when you just type in Centrum Spectra, there's many companies that are called like that. So really go to www.centrumspectra.com. Yeah.
And can they find you on Twitter or Facebook as well, or
Twitter, Facebook, yeah, and LinkedIn as well. And people can always send me a message. Just ask me any question, and I can see what I can do.
Absolutely.
Questions, recommendations, whatever you want to share. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nice. That was great.
Yeah. So, all I've got to say is thanks for coming on.
Thank you guys for going on. Yeah.
I'm sorry I was a couple minutes late. I'm going to go. I'm going to go in the corner when I'm done and just sit there. And I'll put a timer for a half hour and just sit in the corner.
Do you recommend that, Kerry? That he sits in the corner for half an hour with a cone on his head?
I don't have a cone, but I can wear a really stupid hat.
Oh, I need to see a picture of that.
I've got a question because JR, I know where to find you. Adam, I know where to find you. Jason, where can I find more information about your work?
Yeah. I go to www.thebipolardm.com, and that has more information about me. Also, I'm on Facebook as well, at BipolarDM, twitch.tv /TheBipolarDM. So I'm on a couple different places. YouTube, although I don't have a channel yet, I gotta get I guess like 100 followers before you can get your channel now. So but if you do a search on the Bipolar DM, you can find us on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And to you sitting in the corner, JR, Kerry agrees with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can never argue with a lass.
No.
Well,
cool. I feel so stupid.
No, you're not.
Okay. Thank you.
So anyway, please tune in next week. Obviously, Jason will not be here. He's gallivanting elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but Harper, his service dog, will be here.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. But that's next week. But next time we are live is Friday, so I get a couple of days off. Yes. I'm being interviewed at 11 o'clock UK morning, so it'll be 5 a.m. yours, JR and Jason.
Yeah, and I'll probably be sleeping through that, by the way, and I'll watch the replay.
Yeah. I'll be getting interviewed, and then at 2 p.m. Kerry will be back talking. And at 4 p.m., Kerry Burr will be doing her first interview with
Very nice.
another person. So, yeah, please tune in then. And on that note, yes, JR is brilliant, but everyone is. Everyone's brilliant. So on that note, and Kerry's back next week, not me, so.
Oh, boy.
Good luck. Bye.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Cool. And while JR is going to be in the corner, I'm going to look up this news article about that really big moth that you can pet. Adam.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.